It's 2 a.m. You're alone. The lights suddenly go out. Nothing has changed. The room is exactly the same. The furniture is still where it was. The walls haven't moved. No monster has appeared. And yet, your heart starts beating faster. You become more alert. Every small sound suddenly feels important. But here's the strange part. Scientists believe you're not actually afraid of the dark. You're afraid of something else. Something so ancient that it has been passed down through countless generations of humans. And by the end of this video, you'll discover why your brain still reacts as if you're being hunted. Let's start with a simple question. What exactly is darkness? Darkness isn't an object. It isn't a force. It can't touch you. It can't hurt you. Darkness is simply the absence of light. That's it. Which creates a strange mystery. If darkness itself isn't dangerous, why do so many people fear it? Why do children fear it? Why do adults sometimes feel uncomfortable walking through a dark house? And why do almost all cultures throughout history associate darkness with danger? The answer begins with a simple fact about your brain. Your brain hates missing information. Most people think their brain simply observes the world. But that's not really what's happening. Your brain is constantly making predictions. Every second, it tries to answer one important question. What's going to happen next? When you're standing in a well-lit room, your brain has plenty of information. It can see the walls, the furniture, the people around you. Everything feels predictable. But when darkness arrives, something changes. Suddenly, your brain loses one of its most important sources of information: vision. And when information disappears, uncertainty grows. But uncertainty alone doesn't explain something even stranger. Why does a pile of clothes suddenly look like a person? Why does a shadow seem alive? Why does an ordinary noise suddenly sound threatening? To answer that, we need to look millions of years into the past. For most of human history, darkness was genuinely dangerous. There were no streetlights, no flashlights, no security cameras. When the sun went down, humans became vulnerable. Predators hunted at night. Danger could hide just beyond sight. Imagine hearing a rustling sound in the darkness. You have two choices. Option 1, assume it's nothing. Option 2, assume it might be a predator. If you're wrong in the first situation, you might not survive. If you're wrong in the second situation, you simply become cautious for a moment. Over thousands of generations, evolution favored brains that treated uncertainty as potential danger. In other words, it was safer to be paranoid than sorry. But this survival strategy created a strange side effect. Your brain began seeing threats that weren't actually there. Here's a quick experiment. Tonight, walk into a completely dark room. Look around. Notice what happens. That jacket hanging on a chair suddenly looks different. A shadow becomes a figure. An ordinary sound becomes suspicious. Why? Because your brain isn't seeing monsters. It's generating possibilities. When information is missing, your brain fills the gaps. And when survival is involved, it usually fills those gaps with worst-case scenarios. This ability helped your ancestors stay alive. But in the modern world, it can make an empty room feel terrifying. And this reveals the real reason humans fear the dark. You're not afraid of darkness, you're afraid of uncertainty. Darkness is simply a signal that tells your brain, you don't have enough information. And for millions of years, not having enough information often meant danger. Your brain doesn't wait for proof. It prepares for possibilities. Because throughout human history, waiting too long could be fatal. The dark became a shortcut, a warning sign, a reminder that something might be hiding where you cannot see, which means the fear you feel in a dark room isn't a flaw. It's an ancient survival system still running inside a modern brain. The predators are mostly gone. The caves are gone. The world is safer than it has ever been. But your brain doesn't know that. It's still trying to protect you using rules written thousands of generations ago. So, the next time you feel uneasy in the dark, remember this. The darkness was never the enemy. Not knowing what might be hiding inside it was. And that's what makes the human brain so weird. Because the world is weirder than you think. Subscribe to Think Weird for more strange questions and fascinating answers.